I will be joined this week by our very own Clayton DeBert. He and I will compare notes of what we took away from our 3-day Financial Freedom Summit. In case you missed it, let us catch you up briefly on what took place. Tell you what we're going to talk about. For those of you who may have missed the summit, we had 3 wonderful days of presenters giving all kinds of information about taking your investing to the next level. And that was the big thing that I pushed for within the summit, of knowing that VectorVest provides a system of knowing when to buy, what to buy, when to sell. Nobody else does that. I look at a lot of YouTube content, and I know that Clayton does as well. And there's a lot of people out there that talk about, hey, you need to buy this stock. No, you need to buy this stock. Let me tell you why to buy this stock. Hey, go buy the options on the stock. And it's that's what it's like. That's exactly, you sit there and go, that made me a little dizzy real quick, so I'm not going to do that ever again. Wow, I almost passed out on screen. Woo! All right. What VectorVest does for you here on Trending Thursdays and all of the content that Clayton does. Clayton's got a beautiful series of teaching people how to get into the market, especially if you're brand new to the market. If you haven't already watched it, please do. It's right here on the YouTube content. All right, put all of that together, all of the content. Day 1 was all about swing trading, and it started off with David Paul introduction to swing trading. And what I liked about that presentation was really showing you what a swing trade looks like. What kind of stocks are the stocks that you want to look for swing trading? And as we went from there, Stan Heller is putting on a heck of a course, showing you how to swing trade with moving averages. He's our managing director up in Canada. And I think I'm excited about the course. And it's brand new. I'm excited about the course in and of itself. And if you haven't seen it or you want to take advantage of it, at the end of this presentation, we're going to give you the links for all of the courses that were offered. There's only a limited time to still get this summit pricing. A limited time to get the summit pricing. So we'll do that. Heading over to the swing trading. Oh, the swing trading coaching sessions get ready to go on. All right. So with that, just in those first couple of talks, Clayton, anything specific you took away from any of that?
I got a couple notes here, Glenn. I'll pull some stuff up, but I mean, every time I hear David Paul talk, it just makes me feel smarter. I mean, dude is just full. He's got so much knowledge, and the way he displays it, you just feel like you know what you're doing after he gets done talking. But he had an excellent talk on the introduction to swing trading, and one of the quotes that really stuck out with me, and he really likes to dive into the psychology of trading as well, but it says losing traders get optimistic when they have a losing trade and pessimistic when they have a winning trade. And the opposite is true for winning traders. They get optimistic with winning trades and pessimistic with losing trades. You know, they're willing to cut those trades short if they have losses. They're willing to let those winners run. And there's an emotion. Everybody likes to talk about not getting emotional in your investing and not letting emotions, make your decisions for you and following that trading plan. But I mean, let's face it, either we have our emotions in control or something might be wrong. So when we say don't let our emotions control our investments, it's not saying don't be emotional, but we need to realize how making money makes us feel, how losing money makes us feel. And David Paul, man, he really hit it with that one. And it just, analyze yourself when you're making these trades, guys. Do you get optimistic when you have winners? Do you get pessimistic when you have losers? If not, do a little reflection. Maybe that's something that needs to trade or change to take you to the next level. And it's one of the biggest things I took away from day one. He talked a lot about positive expectancy, having a positive hit rate, making sure your risk to reward ratio's up there. And he talked about, I don't want to get into too much, Glenn. I don't know how much we're going to go back and forth with all this and if we're going to talk about each day and so forth. But, I mean, what else do you have on day one before I get going on too much here?
If I look at the whole deal, I liked what Todd did on buying the dips. Somebody in the room made mention of, how to know when to buy and how to know when to sell. But a lot of that was laid out in your day one scenario of looking well, what to look for. Looking at moving average is Todd talked a lot about RSI and moving averages. Stan talked about moving averages and looking at graphs. And another thing that, as you mentioned, that resonated with me with David Paul. Somebody put something in the room. It said focus and broke it down. It says follow one course until successful. So focus. I love that. That was really, really cool. And how long do you have for the summit pricing? The summit pricing is good all the way up until October 30th. And there's a link that Joey put in there, www.vectorvest.com/summit offers. If you go to that website, you have access to all of the summit pricing, and it's good up until October 30th. All right, so just put that out there. But day one, all about swing trading. You know what else I did like about day one is that a lot of people don't realize that we have a mobile app. If you have a subscription to the software, you automatically have access to the mobile app, or you can sign up for a subscription of just using the mobile app as well. So Patrick did a good job of talking about the mobile app. And the last thing that caught my attention on day one was the swing trading opportunities using a tool known as the Derby. This morning I did the Jockey Club, and I had a lot of people from the summit who took advantage of the Jockey Club. So that's also a good thing. Gorilla Futures also had a very good presentation, Stuart. He sure did. Patrick Mullen, which is another YouTuber. It was really cool to have another YouTuber on with us. I'm thinking this is actually the wave of the future, is just everything online. But I would love to have him on Trending Thursday to talk a little bit more about that here. So I'm working on that. But that whole first day, and I like how Clayton just said, I don't know we need to go through each and every talk. But day one was a lot of great information about setting up a system, no matter what, knowing when to buy, what to buy, when to sell, finding your right stocks to buy, getting in at the right time, using different market timing, and knowing how to manage those trades to get out. So anything else? Oh, Lee Lowell, I got you, Salim. Salim, that's going to be on the next day. That's on the next day once we get ready to move over to that. Are we good on day one?
Yeah, I think we're good on day one. I was really impressed by how many people are into swing trading.
I agree.
I thought it was really cool how many people get excited about swing trading.
All right. So on day two was all about options. So from an options perspective, man, I'm with you, Salim. Lee Lowell, I got his book. Let me see. I got his book. Let me go see it. Where is it? No. Huh? Oh, was it day 3? Doesn't matter. Oh, that's the wrong book. Gosh,
He was here.
It's Get Rich with Options. If you haven't already, see this book? This was a great book. Clayton, have you read it at all? I just put you on the spot.
I don't have
It's
a copy.
good book. I'm going to tell Joey to send you one. Joey, send Clayton one. No, I'm not giving you. This one's got my name in it. It got my name in it. Clayton can't. You see, look.
Dude, I can write over your name, Glenn.
It's got my name on it. I can't send it to Clayton. He doesn't want the book with my name on it. It's a great book.
A sleeve for the cover.
But another person that was on day 2 was Brian Overby, the Options Playbook. This is another great deal. He signed one of mine. Oh, there it is. He actually signed my book.
Nice.
Brian Overby actually signed my book, but this was another good book. He said that they were sold out of it. All right. And did Glenn write his name on the cover? Mark, yes, I did. I spelled my own name. But this is another great book from somebody who showed up. So we had two authors. We had two authors as presenters in the summit. And I actually have both of their books. Why? Because that's just the kind of guy that I am. It's just the kind of guy I am. But the options, day 2 was amazingly done. All right, was amazingly done. Teaching you, a lot of the general option terminology, understanding, and I point this out over and over and over. With options, there's only 4 things you need to know. There's calls, there's puts, there's buying, and there's selling. That's it. You wrap your head around that, options becomes a lot easier. All right.
Yeah,
so go ahead, Clayton.
No, I was gonna say that's like the main takeaway that I had from day 2, is because you can really get lost in all of there is to do with options. These guys, when you got Ron Wheeler and some of these other guys up there, and all that they know about options trading, I mean, 1, it can be a little bit intimidating, but 2, they start throwing off words, man. Like, are they playing some board game here? Like, I don't know what's going on with some of these different terms that they have. But when they talk and they're able to, relate it to you in a way that you can understand, they break it down. Like Glenn just said, really, you got 2 things with 2 different scenarios. You can buy or sell, and you get calls and puts. When you start with the simplicity like that and build from there, each one of these things that they can do with those, they can buy a put, they can sell a put, they can buy a call, they can sell a call, and so on and so forth. It really simplifies it, and when you can understand something, it helps you move forward. You're not afraid of it anymore. You say, wow, now I can use this. And I think it was on the 3rd day, so I'll hit on that for the 3rd day a little bit later. But yeah, when you can understand what's going on and you have that tool, you have that information to use moving forward, man, it's really empowering to not be afraid of trading options and say, well, yeah, now I could do that. That's something I could do.
I think that we had an all-star options presentation.
Oh, absolutely.
From Jim Penna to Lee Lowell. Well, that's still on day 3, but he still talked about options. Ron Wheeler, Brian Overby. You had some of the best training on options that I think could be found anywhere at any one spot.
No doubt.
For free.
No doubt.
For free. That's the key point there. Do you know that if you take Ron Wheeler, you take Lee Lowell, you take Brian Overby, just on their own, do you know how much they could charge individually to give you that kind of information? And you got that for free. All right. And if you want to get the videos of all of what they did, www.vectorvest.com/summit videos. It's a $95 cost for it, but you will get all of their presentations. And again, in one place for free is unheard of. It is unheard of. And I saw a lot of lights go on for a lot of people in the room saying, wow, this makes sense. And that's the other side of options, is being able to have someone teach you to a point that you understand it. It's one thing that we can teach it to you, but you got to understand it. And I think the lights came on for a lot of people in the summit. And, so that was just an amazing thing. All right. I went back to the slides and it shows 6 mastery classes. Are you talking about for Stan's class? Because I see a lot of people in here saying Stan's class didn't show much in the way of that. I think that was incorrect. I think that he had a breakdown on what his classes covered. I believe he did. I think everybody who offered a course had a breakdown of what their courses brought about. 2 things that came out of the options second day, 2 courses. One, if you're brand new to options, there's the Options Jumpstarter course. And if you're a little bit more well-versed in options, the options paycheck to generate monthly income. 2 options courses came out of day 2. All right, anything else before we go to day 3?
No, not on day 2, Glenn. I'm good for day 2.
All right, day 3, the star of the day was Clayton DeBert. He came on and he got people
Starter, not
pumped.
star. Starter. Starter, not star.
No,
I started it off.
He came in and was like, "Yeah, boy," and he got everybody started up, which was really awesome. I was like, that only rivals me. It only rivals me. He came up and he tore it up. But I think he did a great job of helping you understand the 3 core strategies for consistently making money in stocks. Understand, the summit was all about making money, all right? And the information that was given to help you to make money. And no matter what day we talk about, they were all putting that into perspective of having a plan. No matter if you're trading, swing trading, if you're options trading, if you're retirement trading, because day 3 was all about retirement. Even if you're retirement trading, the plan is what works. And everybody in this room who takes advantage of any of those courses, everything stems around, again, knowing when to buy, what to buy, when to sell. And this is what VectorVest prides itself on being able to provide to our subscribers. All right, the color guard is really getting a workout. Yeah, it's got all going back and forth between yellow, a lot of yellow and red, but probably bouncing around today. We'll keep our eyes on it. And that's why the color guard, for those people who are subscribers, makes every bit of the world a difference every night. That's why we do it. That's just why we do it. So on the retirement, we talked about retirement growth. We talked about dividend growth. Lee Lowell talked about, and I think that a lot of people don't realize that you can generate a whole separate stream of revenue just by selling calls on your stocks. Do you know you can sell calls for a couple of reasons? One is a protective measure, and 2 is a second way to make money on a stock. Let me explain. If I own Apple, Apple's going up. Let's say it's trading at $120, and I'm making money on the capital appreciation side. How about I leverage my money? I sell a call against Apple at $125. I take in a premium. So I'm already making money on Apple. I take in the premium. I make more on Apple from the premium. And by the time it gets to $125, I buy that call back at a lower price. I keep the majority of it. And now I do it again. And that's selling a call on a stock that I own to bring in a second stream of income for retirement. And then on the other side, if Apple, starts to go down, but I don't really want to get rid of it because I heard that in the room. Why don't you just sell the stock? Well, I'm trying to hold Apple until it goes back up to $150 trillion billion. Do I want to sell it now and buy it at, a higher price? Why? That's where you sell covered calls from a protective standpoint, or you buy a put. But if you're a stock that you're super long-term on, you never have to get rid of the stock as long as you trade options. So that's what I really like from on the retirement side. What you got there, Clayton?
Oh, man, I wanted to talk about options, just touch on them too, because, I don't know too much about options, but watching the summit, it really, especially day 3, really opened my eyes to the possibility of generating income based on selling these covered calls. And the simplicity of it, you think about it, it's like, all right, somebody's going to put money on the table for me, whether it's $5, $10, $100. Let's just say somebody puts money on the table for me and they say, well, it's yours if you want it. But if you don't take it by the expiration date, which is next week or 2 weeks from now, I'm going to take it off the table and you can't get it. And then I'm going to put it back on. I'm going to put more money on the table a month from now. And then it has an expiration date. Looking at options and selling these covered calls, and maybe you're selling them where the strike price is way above. Maybe your premium's not a huge premium because you do want to hold on to that stock. But it's free. It's free income, guys. It's free money. It's out there for the taking. And like Lee Lowell's quote, I don't remember the quote exactly, that I talked about in the slides yesterday, but he can't believe, and now I can't believe, that people just let that money go, whether they know about it or not. It's there for the taking. Take advantage of it.
I like Tony. Tony says, own Apple, don't trade it. I'm a big fan of that, and options helps you to own Apple instead of having to trade it by getting in and getting out and getting in and getting out. So that whole idea with options along with retirement, putting those two things together is a good way to grow your
Absolutely.
portfolio. All right. So I think overall we covered what we wanted to cover. Harry says, you're going to lose your audience if you don't get to your news stories. Harry,
That's my fault, Harry.
we put out there that today was going to be about a recap. That's what it's supposed to be about today. It's supposed to be about a recap. Does anybody not read my stuff? I put that out there for a reason so that does anybody not pay attention? Harry, I love you to death, but today was specifically about a recap of the summit. Today was for that reason. All right, so we covered what we wanted to cover, all right, as far as the summit is concerned. Is there anything you want to add to it, Clayton? Anything specifically you want to add to it?
Not as a recap. I just want to say that I enjoy doing the summit so much. I hope that all of you guys were able to attend at least one of the days and maybe multiples of the days. Hopefully we're able to do it again in the future because the amount of information and education that we can provide for free is absolutely incredible, and I have so much fun doing it.
Excellent.